All right, here we go again. What's up, everybody? Thanks for listening.
Hey.
Power and Speed.
Power and Speed podcast. Someday I'll remember that.
That's what we are.
908-751-0211. We're going to have a guest on tonight. Actually, I'm pretty damn impressed with the kid. She had a 16-year-old kid, won a class that of modified racing, the dirt modified, the hillbilly stuff I teach people about, that my brother actually does. He managed to win this in like one of his first attempts at being there. People try to do this for years.
Yeah.
Like my friend John. Forget it, man. He was chasing it forever.
Well, he is John.
He is John.
Wait, is there a potential that the kid races against Pink?
Oh, yeah.
That would be interesting.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. Brian's going to get abused. So you let a kid beat you.
This is going to be good.
Nice going.
Now I can't wait for the kids to get on.
I'm going to be there to film
now
that.
I got material.
Yeah, they race in the same class along with Stupid Stangle. He raced in the same class.
Well,
so
he usually wrecks or spins out or something right in the beginning, right?
Yep. Yep. All right. So we've got Tad, Crunch, and Tom, and Ryan Krachun is waiting. So what do we got, Thomas? I know you had an interesting trip.
Yeah, I did.
And who did you go see?
But enough about me.
I don't want to know about you.
You didn't even give us anything yet.
I want to talk about your trip because you said there were some stories and you teased it to me on the phone.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't even tell me anything.
No, there was some good stuff. I spent a little time at Hendrick Motorsports. Actually went there to look at a machine for a buddy of mine. And saw a couple of people that I know. Learned a little bit about what they're doing in Cup these days. Not anything that, is earth-shattering. They only share a certain amount of stuff.
Yeah, I can't imagine they're going to
regular folk.
Yeah, they're not going to let somebody in behind a curtain on everything.
Yeah, no, not
especially someone on a podcast. So
no, it doesn't matter what you're on.
Yeah, they don't.
No. I mean, they were talking about flooding the valve covers and stuff like that, which they've been doing for 7 years.
Yeah,
whatever. But it's funny because then I went to a couple other shops, and I did find that Hendrick does not sell their old stuff for many years longer than everybody else. Like if you want to set the current Cup heads,
right? You
can get something pretty current from RCR or ECR, for Chevrolet.
Mm-hmm.
They let them out in maybe 2-3 years. Hendrick's like 7 years, 6 years.
Yeah, because you bought stuff that way. Your SB2 motor.
Yeah.
For your Camaro was that?
Yeah, my stuff was only a couple of years old when I bought it. It was actually brand new stuff, but they had, I guess it wasn't the current issue.
I think that the things that, granted, I'm sure there's quite a bit of research in the head, but to me, maybe because it's more the engine building thinking side, I always wonder about the valve train stuff. That's the stuff that I always want to see.
Yeah, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like when you look at the used valve springs they have, they're tiny.
Mm-hmm.
No pressure.
Yep.
It's really nuts. But we got to make fun of the kid already.
We got to make fun of him. He's looking for a phone plug.
Yeah. Like, my phone's dying. Like, what kid's phone isn't dying?
I know, right? It's on there texting and Facebooking.
And he's probably got
tweeting.
He's got like an iPhone 11 or something.
Yeah.
You need a nuclear charger or some shit.
No, I actually, it was kind of funny. We brought up the other day, I was watching a How It's Made thing of all things.
Yep.
Dumbest show in the world because it's like 1,000-foot flyover of how they make anything. I'm sure everybody's seen it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this thing and it actually caught me. They're rolling the motor over, like they've got the valve train on it. And as they're spinning the motor over, I watched the exhaust valve and the intake valve close so fast. I'm like,
yeah, you called me.
I called Tom and I was like, I could be crazy. I said, but this thing shut so fast it wasn't even possible. Like I looked at the ramp of the rate of close and I said, that can't happen.
Yeah.
But realistically, it's right because I'm sure it's common knowledge now that the cam doesn't close on the cam.
No.
The cam just sails in the breeze and then basically the camshaft ramp catches the tap. That's how it works.
It's called controlled loft or controlled toss.
Yeah. It was pretty amazing.
But closing in slow I was amazed that he picked it up. But that's the kind of guy he is.
Wow.
Nut.
But I saw the video. Like I never would have saw it. I could have looked at it 100 times and I'd be like, yeah, it's cool rocker arm.
And even the cam designs now, they're designed differently than back in the day.
Oh yeah, like all the Cup stuff is Cup
very
stuff.
serious.
Yeah, it's so out there.
Yeah, you could never put that stuff in anything that you think you could put together. Even if you had all the parts that you think they used, you couldn't just put that together because that balancing act of having that lifter toss over the nose and loft down and then have the ramp catch it just right. I mean, for you to be able to do that without spin-tron and all the stuff required, never happened.
Right. That sounds like a science in itself.
It is. It is. And that's really where probably most of their research is done. I mean, probably there more than anything.
Right.
Yeah.
I got you.
You know what's funny? I got it. I know
The
this
kid is fumbling behind us.
No, but what happened is, remember I told you the bomb falls out of that chair?
Yes.
Well, it fell out.
Yeah, you warned me earlier, but it happened to him.
That's great.
That's what happens when you're 16.
The kid
Sit
broke
on the
it-
floor.
kid-
You're a kid. You'll
the
be
kid broke
fine.
a chair already.
Now, look, if you got some mechanical skill, you should be able to know. You push the thing back up and push it back, and it'll be all good.
He's in 10th grade, this guy.
Drivers don't.
Yeah, well,
Pick
no,
one or the other.
but in fairness, this kid does even work on his car.
Really?
So yeah, he's talented. He's not a dummy.
Just like Brian,
And
right?
look at that. He managed to fix the chair. All right.
He's a good kid.
He is a good kid. And he's going to tool on me. I can see it coming.
Yeah, he was doing it in the prep.
I know.
Now, Tom, you went to another shop, too.
I did. I went to see Gene Fulton.
Oh.
And I'm one of his biggest fans. Before I get into Fulton, let me just say, one of the guys. Holy shit! What aren't we? Mike's giving signals. Like if we ever give, just so everybody knows, if anybody ever gives Mike a signal, like he pulls a gun out.
I wasn't talking to anybody. I was pointing at the kid.
I know. It's just funny.
What the fuck did I do today to deserve this? I mean, really?
Too good.
Hey,
Holy Christ.
Wow, Tad
Good car, guys.
Tad
Let's-
just spoke.
yeah. Go ahead, Tom. We want to hear it.
So I got to tell you about one thing. One of the guys at Hendrick has a '67 Camaro that he literally grafted onto a NASCAR chassis. It's so cool. It looks like a current NASCAR car, only a '67 Camaro it's got like a R07, cup engine in it, and the whole chassis, the wheels, the whole deal. It's like olive drab.
So the aerodynamics is just off.
It just looks like a cup car. It's really cool.
So they just dropped a regular body.
Yeah, they kind of. I'm sure they kind of had to manipulate the frame to make it narrow enough or
Right.
or short enough, whatever it was. But
Right.
I mean, it's Hendrick Motorsports.
Yeah.
I mean, they could put it on a friggin' blimp if they wanted to.
Yeah, imagine the resources there are just
Oh my God!
limitless.
You know what's cool? I thought of you when you drive around the back of one of the buildings. There's a gym for everybody that works at Hendrick Motorsports, and you have a card. You can go there 24 hours a day, and the gym. I mean, it would rival any professional gym that you've ever seen. It's unbelievable.
Just the cubic money spent on everything is insane.
It is. It's crazy.
I wonder how they modify their equipment.
Yeah, I'm going through a little bit of gym equipment modification as it is.
Yeah, they don't. They just make a really big building.
Yeah, they just build the building they want. They're not stuck in the confines.
It's a gym. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they built a gym. But so I went to. I know Crunch wants to talk about. I went to see Gene Fulton, and I'm a huge fan of the guy because he's so cool. He's been in it for so long, doing what he does. Mostly top sportsman and pro mod. He's a nitrous wizard and an engine wizard, and
Very respected dude, too.
yeah, very, very, and very smart. Very kind of like low key and secretive, but just a cool guy.
Now, realistically, he was like the pioneer of the big
Yes.
displacement stuff.
Yeah.
Like his stuff was the first stuff that,
Yeah.
that was, like over what we would talk about.
Yeah, he was
Yeah?
one. He
I
was
didn't
one
know
of the
that.
pioneers.
Yeah.
Him, Sonny, but Fulton was the first big name.
Yeah.
There were a couple other guys. Like Kazi was big with the Ford stuff. Fulton was big with the Chevy stuff. You gonna speak, Ted?
See, I'm a Sonny Leonard fan, so
I'm not that much of a Ford guy, but I know Kazi, so recognize the name.
Okay.
Cause he's
Just
tough,
wanted to
too.
get you involved, man.
Okay.
He's tough.
You can level up a little bit, Tad. You don't have to whisper. It's like I mean, we took the ball out of your mouth quite some time ago. You can,
Oh,
My apologies.
Well played. Well
Yes.
did he share anything of interest that you can share with us, or not really?
played. Yeah, he did. He shared a lot, but my feeble mind just couldn't. He was throwing stuff at me. I told you pre-show or yesterday or something that we went to lunch. We spent about an hour and a half, and he was just telling me stuff about nitrous, about octane, about suspension. The guy, I mean, he's been in it for so long, and he's been so, kind of top level for so long, and he's just throwing this info at me. And I know it's good info. I mean, you could tell, how you could tell somebody's talking and they're not talking out their ass. Well, this guy, I mean, he's genuinely a great guy too, but I mean, he's throwing info at me, and I'm trying to suck it in, and I just couldn't. Actually talk to him today because he ordered some titanium. First time we're getting titanium from him in a long time.
Don't screw that one up.
Yeah, I know. They all know that. I've never had it, and my predecessor never got it from him. But anyway, so I called him today just to go.
Did you have an appointment to go there? I just had to ask.
Oh Lord,
no, I don't need him anymore.
Not open door.
I told those guys the whole story.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it is a good story. It's too long for on the air, but I'll tell you later just so you could see the visuals, the thing that happened originally. But yeah, I mean, he talked about a lot of stuff, and very, very smart guy. I respect the hell out of him. He's like the kind of guy that you can learn from. He reminds me of your dad with a southern accent. You just know that he
deep southern accent.
Yeah. But he got tons of his knowledge from doing it, from experience, which you really can't beat that.
No, the practical experience side. I mean, nobody's going to realistically be able to go, look, and I'm not knocking these performance schools. I'm not. And I'm sure that they get better, but this has got to be like even the IT schools. You go to an IT school now, you don't learn now. You learn 5 years ago.
Right.
Because that's how long it took them to get the curriculum today.
Curriculum.
Right. Into,
right.
So I mean, you can't, there's only so much you can learn.
I didn't know they were that far behind.
Yeah.
Everything happens so fast.
Right. So they're giving you the fundamentals. Wow. So you're not getting the front edge.
But I think some of the foundation, like my friend Lumpy, Kevin, he started up here helping Stangl, and he went to UNOH, one of those schools, and he's actually got a job. I mean, he went right from that school and ended up with a good gig, and he loves it. So he made his dream that way.
Yeah, that's cool.
But talking to a guy, like whether it be a Sonny Leonard or a Fulton or any of those guys, you can't
help but learn something.
No,
if you don't, you're a complete knucklehead.
Yeah. I mean, those guys have seen more, in the time that they've been doing this, that they're never going to teach in the school, and that you're not going to have until you run across it.
Well, when you walk into Sonny's office, he has a head there made out of wood.
Really?
That works.
Oh, so you look at it?
Yeah, it's a head.
Right.
That works. It will function. A head made of wood.
Well, it would function for a little while.
For a few minutes.
I'm just saying.
Until it started on
this
fire.
Is how, these guys, they're on a different level.
Yeah, they are.
And he's probably a competitor for Fulton, so I had to mention something. I'm a Sonny Leonard fan.
He's a fanboy over here. Holy God.
You were making fun of me being a fan of Adam Carolla.
No,
I'm gonna go.
Adam Carolla. I've been reading, listening, and I see why he's pretty quick.
We'll go back to that in a few minutes because I gave everybody an assignment. Tad's too cheap. I don't know what the fuck happened to you if you even watched it.
No, I'm going to. Dude, I was away all week.
What'd you do this weekend? Listen, you got to have some priorities.
My lawn, my pool, my house, my wife, my kids.
Normal stuff.
Okay.
Life gone away, bro.
You got to pass.
I will watch it this week.
All right.
I will watch it.
Okay.
I'm actually excited to watch it.
It was very good.
I really am. I'm sure it was.
It was very good. And we're not going to dwell on this because I want these guys to see it. But
I'll watch it now that I know.
We're talking about the Paul
Through
Newman
Amazon.
movie, by the way.
Yeah, Winning, the racing life of Paul Newman, I think is the exact title. Fantastic movie. You were too cheap. Can you rent it yet, Todd?
I can rent it, but I want to do it on Amazon so I can watch it on my TV, not on my computer. Through iTunes. Ain't worth it.
That just went over my head.
Yeah, listen, I told you, the more time that goes on with this guy, you're just going to...
Mike wants me to watch it on my computer. I don't want to sit there staring at a computer trying to watch a movie, so I found it on Amazon so I can watch it on my TV. It's because I don't have Apple TV or none of that stuff. So
You don't have a smart TV?
No. Oh. Well, yeah, it's smart, but anything with Apple stuff.
I wish people could see that face that he just made.
Or the picture that we saw earlier.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll save that for another time. So the one thing that I like that you brought up about Fulton is had a little bit of discussion about octane, because something as a non-nitrous guy, that doesn't spend a lot of time figuring out, nitrous jetting and why things work. And I think there's another discussion that this will lead into. Why things happen with nitrous. Why when you're rich, you hurt something. what is the proper way to tune one of these things? And he actually had a little bit of insight. I don't think it was anything magical. I mean, but just a different way to think about it.
Yeah, he did. And I when I talked to him today before I hung up, I said, Gene, you threw a lot of info at me the other day, and I definitely want to talk to you again about nitrous and octane, because it was a whole lot of information, and as best I tried to get it in, and he started chuckling.
Yeah.
Because he knows that he's got 30 or 35 or 40 years worth of stuff in his head, and he threw a bunch of it at me in an hour.
Right, because like in a regular racing environment, in a regular engine, you would think that if something is richer, you can't hurt it.
Yeah, it's safe.
You can't hurt it. But with nitrous, you go the other way, and you can hurt it on either side.
Yeah,
so you've got a place to be. And now, knowing that you need a place to be, you need to do everything to ensure that you stay between those two lines.
Right.
And, octane versus probably what you're doing with nitrous, all that really plays more into it than honestly I ever gave it any thought until
well, yeah, and I think the crux of it is, if you're fat, because you're introducing nitrous, it will still burn it all, and the event takes so long, you get explosion when the piston's coming back up, and it's actually just huge detonation.
Yeah, it's all event timing.
Yeah,
well, there's a science to it all, and the fuel.
Yeah,
atomization, fuel. There's a science to it.
Well,
and the big dogs and the fast guys know it all.
Yeah, Gene knows it for sure.
Yeah, Gene's tough.
And the only other thing I wanted to talk about was NAS racing. I went to a pro mod shop, and it goes back to the Middle East. The owner is from Dubai, and I didn't meet him, but I know the crew chiefs and his racing manager. And this place is just unbelievable. And I just wanted to bring it up because I told Mike already. Their pit boxes, the roll around toolboxes, they're carbon fiber.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it in my life.
How expensive is that?
Oh, I have no idea. I have no clue.
How would you even guess?
Right.
I don't. I mean, that reminds me that could be like $100,000 pit box.
Could be.
Is this
with no tools?
It doesn't.
$100,000.
It doesn't even matter either. It's just the shop's unbelievable. The guys are great. I mean, down to earth, just regular guys.
And what exactly do they run? It's
Pro mod. PDRA with Anthony.
Right, with Anthony.
Yeah, they know Anthony.
Nitrous or turbo or blower or what are they?
Supercharged. Yeah,
supercharged.
Yeah, the big, the top alcohol stuff. Only there's no, actually I never knew this, but a top alcohol dragster or funny car, obviously they have rules on them for how much boost and how much blower speed. And in PDRA, there's no rules, so they run them much harder, much faster, and they're just much more brutal on parts.
So it's like an outlaw situation.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Yeah, but what do they actually have a ratio on the alcohol cars, right? Like,
yeah,
I think that's how they do it. They do it by ratio and displacement.
Like 50 over or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what the ratio is in NHRA.
Right.
But there's no rule in PDRA.
No
cubic inch limit either?
I know I'm making a sign with my hands, but they have a tiny pulley on the blower.
Lots of overdrive.
Drive.
Yeah, that's it.
No cubic inch limit?
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know, because I don't think Anthony has one.
I don't think he does.
No.
That's interesting.
Yeah, there may not be.
Yeah, there may not be an actual inch limit on those. We'll have to get Anthony back in here and check in with him. He's got. I don't know when the next time he races was. I know he was missing the one.
But I think end of this month he's going to St. Louis.
Yeah, there was one he was going to miss, and he just couldn't get there.
Yeah.
So after that, yeah, no, I know he's got a couple coming up.
We should go to one of them.
I'd like to. I mean, how long it's been since I've been to a drag strip? I mean, Christ, I can't even remember. Shit.
Well, you need to go.
Yeah.
Hasn't been forever.
It's been a long time.
Didn't you come down a raceway when Vinny had the orange Camaro?
I was trying to think about that the other day. It's funny you brought that up. I don't know if I went down there to the track.
I thought you did.
I might have. Well, how long ago was that?
Long.
Yeah. I hadn't been
7, 8 years.
Yeah, I hadn't been to the circle track either. But Brian tested, and
that's because you have a slight aversion to the circle track stuff.
I have to admit this. It was kind of okay. But I got to tell you, this is the funniest part of all this, at least to me. I was in the infield because we weren't racing. We were just testing. And I'm, watching a car go around. And there were, a couple little first-time things you got to work out, he had a steering problem. The brakes are marginal, and he just, all little first time bugs that you really would like to take care of at a test day before you go race.
Cody.
No, it wasn't really as much Cody. It was, you know what it was? We were just late getting there.
Yep.
Everything we were just delayed. We were supposed to be there at 4:00. I think we rolled in there at like 8.
4 hours is a long time.
Yeah. But I mean, again, since we were just testing, it didn't matter.
Right.
Other than you had no time to test.
Well, yeah, because it rained.
Other than that part of it.
It rained, but the track was good to get us in there, which was good.
Yeah.
It was good. Overall, it was good. But Brian's out there running around, and I'm in the infield. I'm watching the car. Never once did I think about the motor. Not once. Not once. Didn't even just not a care in the world. I'm just watching how the car handled. And then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, that's how everybody else feels when they look at one of these things.
Yeah.
Because I didn't put the motor together.
Right.
If it explodes, it broke. Oops.
That's weird.
It really happened.
Yeah. Who did the motor?
It's Morrison.
Oh, he bought a bunch off of that guy or something?
Yeah. The lady's husband passed away, so he bought a few of them. And, the small block was what he really wanted more than anything. And I think it's okay. I mean, I don't think it's a killer. And I mean, God, I hate to say this.
Oh, here we go.
Last night, couldn't sleep. Around midnight, what am I doing? I'm looking through comp cams, master lists, looking at the lobes. I'm looking at all the different, and I'm like, I was actually like taking notes and everything. If I said, I'm stopping, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
But I think they could be a little better, and I'm not knocking Pat.
Right. Do you know the cam specs of the cam that's in his motor now?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But I mean, I'm sure the guy will tell me. I mean, I can certainly figure it out. It's not a big deal.
Right.
But I just, everything could always be better.
You're getting interested. That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, because now you just, this is what makes some people, and other people. Some people, it's not good enough.
You can't forget what you know.
Yeah.
And you want to apply it.
I was looking at all small diameter valve spring stuff, and I'm like, wow, look at that rate on that thing. And that thing can go in at 400. I'm like, huh. And I'm like,
it's crazy what they got, right?
Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah, you're shot. You're 2 weeks away from putting the dyno back in.
Well, you stepped away for a little while, and you're like, "How much is advanced?" It's
it changes. And like people ask me, like, "Well, could you pick out a cam for that?" I might be able to get something that should work as good. Could I pick out something better? I don't think so. I think you need a little bit of experience with it.
2 weeks dyno.
No. I'll find somebody.
4 weeks.
Maybe over the winter.
Yeah.
Maybe over the winter.
The pit's out back.
You're talking about the dirt stuff, so we got the kid sitting here, and he's anxious. He's fumbling with the phone.
Yeah, he looks like
he's a superstar. We got him first.
Well, it's because, see, this is really two different worlds. A lot of our people that listen are, PDRA or drag guys.
Right.
Or they're street/grudge guys.
Right.
Or,
big time guys from the Emirate.
Yeah, like that. And, I mean, this is off the beaten path of what we would. I mean, it's not because I talk about my aversion to half of the stuff.
Yeah.
But he races what we got involved with.
Yep.
I don't know how it happened.
And he's in 10th grade.
Yeah, that's what's pretty amazing.
Wow.
Out of everything. Definitely amazing.
We're going to bring him in?
I guess we could.
Tad, your thoughts?
Well, before Tad goes,
Tad didn't even say a word yet.
No. I did. I said one or two things.
We're going to have to work on your people skills.
He spoke on the Amazon computer stuff.
Social misfit.
Yeah. The one thing.
I'm a podcast misfit.
Yeah. For sure.
Look, nicknames.
The one thing that I think.
Boomstick.
Leave my T-shirt out of this.
Okay, sorry, Mike.
I mean, look, we're not looking for sponsors. We're not. It would be nice to get some. If somebody says, "Hey, look, we like what you're doing and we want to float you some cash," but we were talking about what certain things you need. Kind of, I don't want to say fill, but like
Phil.
It is Phil, but like, let's say the kid was going to come in, and I don't care. I mean, we're not trying to do something super professional, but Tad's got to go away. The kid's got to come in because we've only got 4 positions in here for a microphone. I wasn't really thinking that we would need a guest mic.
Guest spot.
But one of the things I wanted to do, if we had a little more time, is I wanted to record a spot. And I started thinking, you listen to these advertisements and people talk about stuff. The only reason they're talking about you is because you're getting paid.
Of course.
They don't give a shit. They really don't care. I'd much rather not get paid, but talk about something that I like or somebody that's done good work.
Why can't we do both?
Well, I don't know.
Can you sing the jingle to My Pillow, Ted?
I'm afraid not.
Oh Lord.
But one thing that Tad and I can talk about, and I think anybody that's, and especially since we're going to have some of the Circle Track guys listening, with all these race car chassis, they're all powder coated.
Yep.
Every single
Yes.
one of them.
Yep.
I mean, I guess you get the cheap guy that paints or the guy that thinks maybe the powder coating is a little heavier if he's that nuts. I don't know. But the bottom line is almost all of them are powder coated.
Yeah.
And if you're a race car guy, I mean, I think even a drag guy or anybody,
I need my wheels powder coated as we speak.
all right. Well, that's, and like,
I got a connection.
yep. But yeah, he's got a connection. This retard's got a connection. We've been going to the guy before he even started making horseshoes, and he tells me he's got a connection.
You know a guy?
I know a guy.
Yep. But there's a guy we've been using. His name is Richie. And what's the actual technical trade name of his business?
Extreme Custom Coatings.
Yep. And is he considered Easton?
Yes, it's Easton.
Yeah. Easton, PA. Give out the number, Ted, because obviously you're on the website.
I'm on the website. The number is not available to me.
We're always
on
so
the front
prepared.
page.
I know.
Yes.
That's
However, the Extreme, it's XTREME,
Does he have
not
a
EXT.
website?
It's a Facebook page
Facebook page.
for
Okay.
Extreme Custom Coatings. I do believe he's got a website too, but I don't know how up to date that is.
And people always talk about this stuff. And I mean, look, we powder coat entire race car chassis. They don't come apart.
Right.
he not only does that, he's got enough room to, if you take your truck, you take the cab off, you can have your truck sandblasted there and powder coated the entire frame.
The kid found the number.
The kid found
The kid found the numbers.
Tad, we might have a replacement.
You're fired.
There we go.
The kid found the numbers.
1550 Lehigh Drive.
484-661-9693.
And the reason that I am personally happy, and
Oh,
look,
there it
anybody
is.
that's listening to me knows I'm miserable. So if somebody does a good job and I'm impressed, I mean, the guy does a good job.
Wait, hold on. I found the number.
My apologies.
That seat right there, I will never do this show from that seat. That seat right there, a lot of people moving.
See, there used to be an engineer here, and it's a brain drain.
I was wondering if the magnet in the speaker was affecting one of the plates in your head. I'm not really sure what exactly is going on with you. But this guy, I've had fitness equipment powder coated. We've had race cars powder coated. We powder coated pieces of sheet metal for our dashboards.
I think Mike powder coated a hamster once.
If I could, but yeah,
It's really sad that he agreed with that.
Yeah.
Wow.
the guy does great work.
I've heard that.
And I mean, like some of the fitness stuff that I brought up there, he blasted off all the old coating. It looks brand new.
I'm going to try him. I'm going to try him out.
So yeah, if you need wheels done, race car chassis done, I mean, I got to tell you, that's probably the guy you should talk to if you're in this area.
I'm going to call him first and say, Mike sent me.
Yeah, well, tell Mike, Cody, Lunchbox, or Tad.
Or Tad.
Yeah, Tad. Yeah, because I'm sure Tad is. Well, obviously, you're not going to forget this.
I'm going to see if the price changes when I mention Mike.
I wish
Tad.
people could see Tad.
How long have I been saying that? 2 GoPros, one on each speaker.
Well, I've been talking about the GoPro stuff, so.
I know you could edit it.
Tad looks
there we
normal.
go.
He looks normal.
Dude, I think we should do it.
What?
He looks normal from a distance, I'm saying.
Okay. All right. I'm glad you put the
From an
distance
aircraft.
in there.
That way I can sneak up on you.
Wow.
All right, Tad, beat it.
Okay.
So we're going to bring in the kid.
We're going to bring in a kid. I could even go to a musical interlude. I did have that set up.
I don't know if interlude's the proper word.
Well, once you edit it later, you can bring it down because they're going to hear all this motion back and forth.
That's
here.
all right. We don't care.
And the kid is funny, too.
Yeah.
The kid is funny.
already breaking my balls.
I think there's going to be more of that now.
That's all right. I can take it.
10th grade. What a life.
Yeah, Tad, you can leave.
Just bang shit around, kid. Nobody hears it. Is your phone on silent?
Okay, good.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about it.
All right. Mic'd up. And remember what I told you? Try to keep within that area of the mic. You'll be good. We got Ryan Krachun. And I remember the first time I met you, and you probably don't know this, so I'm gonna lay this into you a little bit. The first time you were here, the first time I met you, do you know to this day, Rutsky still says to me, "Hey Troopy, hey Troopy, hey Troopy," because I was talking to your father and you had questions because you wanted to know everything. So anything he was looking at, you go, "Hey Troopy, hey Troopy," like while his dad was talking, and I'd be like, "What? What's that?" It's this. Uh-huh. And then Dad and I would start talking again. Hey, Troopy. Hey, Troopy. Rutsky to this day, when he calls me up, says, hey, Troopy. Hey, Troopy. That's every day. So that's your fault. But now let's think about that. That you were here when we were building the building. So that had to be probably 2000 and maybe 7.
Yeah, I don't remember this
Yeah.
at all.
So you would have been 9.
You sure?
I think so. You're 16 now, right?
Yeah.
So I think last time I did math.
Math major?
Yeah.
Yeah, I trust him.
I would hope. Come on.
Troopy,
It was simple math. dude.
he is he's very modest, but Troopy is a genius.
A genius? I don't know if I go that far.
Troopy's a genius.
And who told you that lie?
Probably you.
JJ.
Oh, JJ? Well, I mean, now look. Now, if you consider point of perspective, I would imagine I'd look like a genius.
Is JJ Stengel?
Yes.
Oh, God. Okay. What doesn't look like a genius compared to him?
So when I first met you, were you even racing then when you were 9 or
9.
10?
Yeah, I've been racing since I was 7.
Since you were 7?
What did you start in? Karts?
Quarter midgets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now,
On dirt.
your dad gave me a piece of paper here,
Mm-hmm.
and I could go through this, but I think I'd probably rather drag some of it out of you. Let's start quarter midgets. What are they? Because keep in mind, some of the people that are listening to this, they're all quarter mile guys, so they have no idea what a quarter midget is. Tell them like weight, size, what kind of motor.
Really?
Yeah. Do you know that stuff? You drive the thing.
I'm a driver.
Well, you know what a minimum weight?
Like Cole Trickle.
Yeah. Do you know what the minimum weight is or whatever? Well, they're Briggs powered.
I like it.
Well,
You
no.
put gas in them?
Yeah.
you put gas in
Okay.
them.
There you go.
Some you put alcohol.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on from quarter midgets.
All right, but they're what I'm just trying
It's
to
like
get.
it's like a midget, only it's probably a quarter of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's sort of like a go-kart.
A go
It looks like a
Sort
dirt
of.
like a dirt car, right?
Just-
but a
just for,
go
like-
kart.
Yeah, for like little kids.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to give people a point of perspective how
Yeah.
small these things are. Because like the tires are like what,
Yeah,
maybe
they're tiny.
10 inches in diameter, somewhere maybe 12. They're little tiny things.
Yep.
Yeah, they're small.
Little tiny shock absorbers.
They're the same that's on regular go-karts.
Yep.
Like around like the Motorplex and stuff.
Yep. Now you race them in asphalt and oval.
I raced quarter midgets. I started on dirt, and then we went to asphalt, and then we went back to dirt, and then back to asphalt,
Okay.
and then we traveled the country.
Okay. Yeah, and you went all over with those things because I remember Mike telling me where you were going. That's your father, Mike, telling me that you were going here, you were going there. You did a lot of traveling with that.
Yeah, we went as far as I think we went to Wisconsin with the quarter midgets, and then when I moved up to midgets, we went to like Illinois and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But a lot of people that had bigger budgets than we did, like the Burtons and the people with big bucks, they would go out all the way out to California and do the whole tour. We did the tour like east of the Mississippi.
So these guys would tour like the whole country.
Yeah, some people that I would race against, they'd go all the way out to California, like LA area, and then they go to like Washington and stuff like that, like crazy distances. Like they'd be on the road for the whole entire summer. They wouldn't be home for 3 or 4 months.
And what age was this? This was
The kids were between probably 5 and 16 years old.
wow. All right, so it's like a whole age range. The circuit is you could have different ages. It's
Yeah,
not-
there's different classes, different size motors and stuff where you could compete against people around the same age as you.
Mhm.
But I always competed with people older than me
okay.
most of the time.
Okay.
So this is Jeff Burton and I think you said Ernie
Yeah.
Irvin. And
Yeah, Jeff Burton's kid, Harrison, and Jared Irvin, and Ryan Blaney, who's in Cup right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. You raced against him, or you
when I
were
was younger.
you were there when he was there.
Yeah, when we went out to dinner with them
Really?
one night. Yeah, long time ago.
That's Dave Blaney's kid.
Yeah,
They're from California, aren't they?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think they are.
Troopy should know this. He's a genius.
It's twice you said it, kid.
It's this kid.
He must
Where's
wanna-
Blaney from?
He must want a
Genius.
motor.
California.
Right.
I heard you say it. So
Yeah.
listen, I really don't follow much of the Winston Cup stuff.
I know.
Although, like I told you, we talked about that race. That's the kid who was second.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
You
got
wanted
or
him to
third
win,
and got
yeah.
shuffled around. And I
Yep.
was second. Yeah, whatever. It was kind of disappointing.
Yep.
typical cup race.
All right, so after quarter midgets, you moved on to Xfinity series.
Yeah, and then we were competing with Ryan Blaney and stuff. I finished 15th in the Daytona 500.
Nice. Well, your first one though.
Yeah, only my first one.
Okay,
Next one I'll win.
we made that whole thing up, folks. Just so you know.
All right. Yeah. So you went from the little things. What was the next step from the little cars? From the little cars.
We went up to USAC Ignite Midgets.
Right. Now those are the real deal. Those are
we would race against some of the best drivers in the country. We would travel, or there was the East Series and then there was the Midwest Series. We did both,
right,
because East wasn't enough for us. We had to go do both, and so we'd be in North Carolina one weekend, and then 3 days later we'd leave to go to Grundy, Illinois, to race out there against different people. Then we come home for 2 days. I get to relax for 2 days, and then we go all the way back down south and race there. It was fun though.
How did you do all that with school?
We got a lot of letters sent home.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I imagine there were certain things you had to do to make up for it. Either that or you're 16 and you're in the 5th grade. I mean, you had to get through somehow.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really bother me since I'm straight A's. So.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So with all this traveling and everything, you've maintained good grades.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you this. I'm a genius too.
I didn't know that.
Oh, wow, 2 geniuses in one room.
That's really got to make you feel bad.
Yeah, I know. I'm a big idiot, right? Yeah.
Wow.
I got a serious question. So your parents must, make you perform in school if you want to race.
No, I just
You just want to do it?
But it sounds like it was never an issue.
I don't study or anything. I just pay attention.
Because you look like a big dope. Actually.
Thanks.
No, he's a good looking kid. I should be talking about looking like a big dope, right?
Yeah, right. Big mook. No, I mean it probably if I know listen, your dad would bust your ass if you started flunking out of school. There'd be no two ways about it. I mean, I can tell you that.
No, because then he'd be a hypocrite.
Yeah, but I mean, your dad he'd be hard on you. I
wouldn't go there, kid.
Yeah,
probably not a good move.
Yeah, my dad, he wouldn't be too happy.
No, and same with your mom. I mean, they're
yeah.
So I think what happens with this stuff is that for you, it's probably never become an issue because your grades are always good. So it was a bridge you never had to cross.
Yeah, I think in like 6th grade, I don't know what happened. I had like a 79 in English, and she got mad.
Yeah,
and started yelling.
Yeah,
it wasn't good.
Right. But probably the competitive nature of just being a race. I mean, that's why he's a racer. Also, you probably want to do well in school anyway, don't you?
And a successful one. So
yes is the correct answer.
Yeah.
I mean, if I just listen to what they say,
yes is the correct.
If I just I mean, like if I just stay awake and listen, then I'm fine.
I was just like that in school.
I was too.
I could just and see what happened. And listen, kid, don't take this as an example. If I was in school,
thinks you're a genius.
I don't know why. My chemistry teacher, we used to call him Yoda because he looked just like Yoda.
Wow.
He got on my crap one day and he actually wrote my SAT score on the board,
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know what it was because I was asleep, like my head was down. And he basically, in front of the whole class, said, "You are wasting your life," because I never did homework. I never did anything that you were supposed to bring home. But if I listened, I got it.
Right.
If I didn't get it, if I read it, I got it.
The normal people study.
So why do I need to do the homework if I know what I'm doing? I'd get tests and quizzes and A's and B's and no problem, breezing through it. But then I get crap grades because I didn't do any other work.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, so. I at least do my homework the period before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do it at home.
The period before.
The period before.
That's kind of what they all do now.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
This is interesting. 10th grade. This is good.
I know because
we're proud of you here.
It's like
Brian.
the best time of his life, and he doesn't even know it.
Right.
By the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hate to be the cynical old man, but it gets worse.
Well, unless you continue doing well racing and you graduate into something good. All
right, so you went from the midgets, which are a real deal. That is, and if anybody wants to look them up, go look at midget racing. That's a pretty real deal. That's no joke.
Our guy's looking up midget racing is not going to come up when he drives.
It probably would if you type USAC or you start to look. Yeah,
You just can't type in midget racing, dude.
They always see little guys running across hurdles or some shit.
Of course.
Wow, Tom.
All right, so for midgets, is that when you got away from midgets and went into the STRs, the speedster things?
Oh, the speedster.
Yeah.
I like the STR.
Well, because they're spelled stupid. It says speed STR. I mean, why don't you just, so I always call them STRs because it's the only way I can keep it straight.
Then nobody will know what you're talking about.
That's perfect because I don't talk to any of these people anyway, or as little as possible. So you went from USAC.
Well, we went from USAC and then we went to NEMA.
So wait, is it a USAC midget is like a little sprint car type thing?
It's sort of like a sprint car. It's a little bit smaller.
Like those?
Yeah, those are midgets.
They are cool.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we raced those on asphalt.
Yeah.
Not dirt. And then we went up to NEMA. We wanted to have a new challenge, race against more or different people, and then we went up there with wings. It's NEMA. It's the same thing as USAC. They just bolt a wing on top of it.
All right, so it becomes it's like instead of a wingless midget, it's like
it's a winged midget.
Winged midget.
Then we went up there and we did pretty good, and I won the championship in my first year up there.
And how old were you then?
This was last year, 15, 16.
Wow. Okay. So,
yeah. But at the same time as the Nemo, we were also doing the Speedster, or the STR, as Troopy calls them.
Yep.
And then we...
It's unbelievable.
And
you do realize you're messing with the guy who's got to drive you home, right? You realize that, right?
Yeah.
All right, just
make them
continue.
Make them take you in a vet. Okay.
They'll be sitting on the roof of the Suburban in a strap to the top. Kiddo Mike's be like, "What'd you do to my kid?" You heard him. So go ahead. So you race the speedsters. Now the speedsters thing you do at Kutztown, right?
Yeah, we race at Kutztown every Wednesday from when college is out of session, because the fairgrounds are right next to the college and they can get kind of upset if we were racing while they're in college. But also we raced at like Mahoning Valley Speedway, Grandview, 5 Mile Point, Linda's, and a whole bunch of other dirt tracks in the area.
Right.
Yeah, and we're racing against the people that made the history books.
Yeah.
Like Kenny Brightbill and Billy Pouch, who I raced against at New Egypt, and
Did you beat him?
Frank. Yeah.
This week you did, yeah. Yeah. He
That's pretty cool.
I mean, listen.
I couldn't beat him all last year at Kutztown.
Really? Well, I mean, look, you can't. If Billy ever beats you, how do you ever feel bad? You almost kind of can't.
You can't.
You know,
Like-
any of those guys.
Well, last year I was about we were like 2 laps away from the checker. There was 2 to go, and I was in front of Billy, and then my car broke. But I was happy because I was beating Billy, and I would have beat Billy, but then something broke. So.
And like, I mean, these.
How old is Billy Pouch?
Oh God, I'm sorry, Billy. If you heard that, like, oh God, I don't know. Billy helped Brian when he first got started. The first time that Brian was in the car.
I mean, he's got to be my age.
I think he's older than you.
What are you, like 24?
Yeah.
I think I think his daughter. He's got
Mandy.
Mandy and the son. They got to be. I mean, Mandy's got to be 21. Right?
Yeah, I think Billy is already married.
Okay.
Little Billy.
Yeah.
I think Big Billy's in his lower to mid 50s.
Yeah. I think he's probably mid 50s. But I mean, he's been doing this.
And Kenny Brightbill's older than him.
Oh yeah, Kenny Brightbill. Yeah. I mean, but these are again, these are people that most of the guys that would listen to our stuff don't know who they are, but they are like the elders of.
The experienced guys,
right?
These guys have been racing since before my father was born.
Yeah, these guys, they're in
pioneers.
Absolutely, because in those days you didn't go to the chassis place and buy a car. You didn't go buy a rear. You know, everything you did, you made.
Okay.
So these guys, they learned, again, like we talked about earlier, the practical experience of doing something.
Right.
They learned how to make these things work, not because they were so interested or tried to do better. They had to, because they were building it from something. You know,
I remember Billy Pouch from, remember the motorsports show in Pennsylvania?
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Rusty Wallace was like, he was only a couple years in Cup, He was like one of the new guys, and he went to that show because he wasn't anybody yet. And he signed autographs and shit, but nobody cared because he wasn't Rusty Wallace yet. He was just Rusty Wallace.
Right.
But at that time, Pouch and Bright Bill, and there's another guy that raced big block modifieds. I can't think of his name. Brett Hearn.
Oh yeah.
Those guys. They were doing it back then.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Rusty Wallace has become in the time span has went from a rookie to a NASCAR champion to win all kind of races, blah blah blah. And these guys are still doing it on dirt.
And what he's racing with right now, and Ryan, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that Kutztown racing. I mean, racers do this because it just gets into them. I mean, that's what they do. They race. If there's a place that they can race and it looks like they could do well, they'll go.
Plus, it pays a lot of money.
Yeah, they do pay pretty
and
good.
And it's
an
off day.
Yeah, off day.
It's a Wednesday, so they go out there and
what do they pay?
Pays a lot. For every week they pay $2,000 to win, and then there are special shows that can pay from $3,000 to $5,000 to win.
How much does one of those cars cost, Ryan?
I think it's like 19 grand turnkey.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
This is interesting.
I mean, really, when you think about that side for a minute,
that's actually amazing.
It is amazing because, like, we always talk about that. I mean, don't get me wrong; you're still not going to feed your family by going to race one of the speedster things,
but think about the shit that we talk about. Like Anthony, he's got $175,000 car, and he might win $5,000.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But you're racing. Just this is the John thing. That if he goes to a race, look, you got it. There's something to be said for confidence. But there's also something to be said for maybe stupidity. He'll be like, "You going to win tonight? I'm winning. You sure? Right to the front." And I'm like, and Cody and I laugh about it.
Kid, you can laugh in the mic. It's okay to laugh.
I mean,
we're talking about John.
Listen, man. I've known the guy for 30 years. I was over his house the other night. He's a good friend of mine.
Do your impression of him.
I can't right now. He, John goes thinking that he's going to win every race, and that's a great attitude.
Yeah, I guess you got to do that,
but it's just unrealistic.
The kid does too, but he wins.
Yeah, well,
I don't think that. I go there hoping to qualify.
Yeah,
I'm happy if I qualify at New Egypt,
and then you win.
Yeah, well,
we'll get to that.
Hey,
you're jumping ahead a little bit.
I'm sorry. Well,
So yeah, I mean, when you go to that race, that's like an all-star race every time you're there for the speedsters.
Yeah, I mean, you're racing against the best guys that there are, and I'm just happy to make the show there too. The guys who run it are great, and they'll pretty much start everyone in the show just to put on a better race.
Right.
Where at some tracks they'll just send you home if you don't make it.
Now, do you think that racing with those guys has made you better yet? Like, have you learned from them because you're around that level of guys?
I mean, I go there and then I ask them questions and they help me out. They'll show me what I'm doing wrong and what I could do better, and it helps me become a better driver.
Well, Billy ain't gonna help you with shit anymore. It's over.
Yeah. Once you beat him, you're done.
No. Didn't even have to beat him, because I remember going to Billy's with Brian's car and or calling him about something, and I said, I got a question. I went there. And I said, I got a question. What does this do? What does this do? What does this do? He goes, didn't you win last week? Like, yeah. Didn't you win a week before? Like, yeah. Why are you playing with it? Because I want to keep winning. And Billy was very good at answering your question with another question. Yeah. Like, now, the kinder, gentler side of person in life that was just trying to make everything happy would be like, well, he's trying to make you think. Now I think he was probably trying to be a dick. Like, I don't want to tell you.
Right.
But after we moved to modified, he helped us with the car. He got a body on it for us and everything else. And I think he didn't come out and say it's over, but like, well, you got to figure some of this stuff out. That's kind of the answer you get.
Yeah.
So, and I think that now we weren't close to beating or running with Billy Pouch when we moved to modified. Now here you are. We'll step away from the speedsters. You were the youngest kid in the state of youngest guy in the state of New Jersey to get licensed to race a modified. And what did you have to do to get that ability? Who told you could or couldn't? What happened?
Well, the track, we wanted to do it just to see if I could, and just in case I wanted to race in the state, because we weren't planning at this time to go modified racing at all. And the track was great with helping us set everything up with the state police. They went and they talked to the state police for us, and the state police came out, and I had to get approved by both the police and I needed to get approved by the track so that I could run there. So I had to go out and I borrowed John's car, and I went out there for probably about 6 laps, and they approved me pretty fast, and the state police were like, "Yeah, you're fine." And
So
then
the state police actually watched you make
Yeah.
laps to
Yeah,
determine you were competent.
they have to go out there and watch to make sure that you're not going to wreck people, like
Yeah. That makes
cause
sense.
any deaths.
So that means you were pretty aggressive in those 5 or 6 laps. You were out there getting it.
Yeah, you probably couldn't drive around, just pace around. You had to drive the car, like hot lap it. You had to drive it.
You'd seem like you were going fast,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean,
but it was John's car.
I was just going to say that. Was John's car a piece of crap?
Oh, this kid is good.
Is it junk?
No,
He just makes it junk. He probably messes
Well-
with too much crap.
well, he let our friend Johnny Cornell, the 2014 Sportsman Champion,
Yep.
use that
By the
car.
way, hold on. I want to interject one thing here. Johnny Cornell's name is Good Johnny. That's how we keep it straight, because obviously John is Bad Johnny.
Obviously.
So we know him as Good Johnny.
Good
But yeah,
Johnny.
Good Johnny won the 2014 Sportsman Championship.
Yeah, so Bad Johnny,
Yep.
he let Good Johnny borrow his car, and so it had like all the right stuff, and Johnny went through it, and he made sure that everything was fine, and he set it up for us. So the car was pretty good when we went out there, and it was just fun.
Mhm.
I mean, I didn't get a real good feel for it because after a couple laps, I was like, okay, I don't want to wreck this. So because then we'd have to fix it and put like the good stuff on it.
Yeah.
Not only that, it's kind of you can't. I don't know. You get a good feel for it just making laps by yourself.
No, not really.
I mean, nothing I would think would ever compare you or prepare you for racing.
No, I need people in front of me to go fast.
Right.
If I don't have anybody to chase, then
You have no barometer. You don't know. you don't know where you are.
I'm horrible in time trials.
Really?
Horrible.
That's funny. My brother seems to be great in time trials. It seems to be like if there's a time trial, we're like, yes, you don't have to qualify. I
Yeah,
mean,
like I go
wild.
down south for my late models and stuff, and I like dread time trials because I'll like time last,
mhm.
and then I'll have to start like last in the race and come all the way back up.
And somebody said that to me. They said that time trials are the same as leading a race. If you don't have anybody to follow,
No, it's not nothing like that.
you don't think so? If you're
No.
ahead, who you following?
No, because you're pushing it harder because people are behind you. I'm looking, like when I was leading the other day, I'm looking and I see Billy Pouch on the scoreboard behind me. So I stepped on the gas a little bit harder.
Right.
Like
So you
time-
drove a little harder.
Yeah, like time trials is like
Wow.
there's
Now-
no one behind me, no one chasing me.
Now, how many cautions were you leading? Weren't there 7?
There were a lot.
Yeah.
I wasn't keeping track.
Probably
I
felt
was-
like
I was,
500.
I was driving the car.
Right.
Like, I wasn't keeping track of the.
I know, but
He's making a stab. He's taking a stab.
he can take a stab all he wants.
He's good.
I
This guy's good.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Punk. Listen, what I'm saying is that, and this was something I started to say before you got here. Were you rattled by any of this? Were you concerned that Billy Pouch was behind you?
It was like a little like unnerving or something.
Mhm.
Like I don't know what unnerving means, but it sounded right. But,
That's right.
Does it? Okay. Yeah, but I was just thinking the worst that could happen is I get passed by Billy Pouch.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I wasn't too nervous because I thought through the whole race that, okay, when's the guy gonna pass me?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
so
I can
And
imagine.
then the next thing you
Yeah,
know is
yeah.
a checkered flag flying.
Yep.
yeah, I'm just thinking. I'm like, when's the guy gonna pass me? Then I see little Billy Pouch, going like to the outside of me, and like I think he was trying to intimidate me a little bit.
Yeah. Show you he was there.
Yeah, and then but I just kept calm and I did the best that I could.
Yeah. But you see, that's a great attitude. And you see the other thing when you're his age, like I guarantee you, like John, as we've talked about a million times, and
Right.
same thing with my brother, you're racing that car and if you hit that fence, like John will tell you, I hit the fence, and I knew 800, 500, and he's naming off all the parts that are messed up.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just wrecked it. I mean, he's very animated, and I can't even do him justice over the microphone.
No, you're pretty good though.
You're not going to have him on the show at all?
At some point, he'll probably wander over here. I mean, he'll just listen. This is.
I want to be here for this.
Oh yeah,
I don't.
there's so many
I'm
stories.
gonna stay home for that.
I'll take your place.
So many stories with this guy.
I know.
But John, he says it. If you're racing this car and you stuff it in a fence, it's your responsibility. You're paying for it. You got to do the work.
Yeah.
You got to unravel, and that sits in your head.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have that head. I mean, not saying that he's not worried about wrecking a car. I mean, nobody wants to wreck the car.
At his age and experience, the fear factor is not as prevalent.
Well, John shouldn't have that mentality either because he makes Matt do all the work.
I know, but I mean, from a financial, like paying
for
for
the
it
financial
perspective,
part. Yeah.
And I'm not blaming your father for helping you with your car. I'm not. It's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that
We're impressed. We're impressed
We're
by
impressed.
your age and your ability to zone it all out. Where an older person with more experience would have a little caution in them. So you're a good example for other kids to be fearless and go for what they want.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yep, that's impressive. So, I mean, to make a long story short here, at age 16,
10th grade.
you qualified for how many races at this racetrack?
2,
And how many did you win?
1.
Okay.
Wow. Hats
Pretty
off.
good.
Now,
hats off.
I got to tell you, there's people that have raced in a modified class their entire lives. My brother is a good driver. He's not bad. I've said this before. I feel I let him down on the car side. Like, I feel that my ability with the car holds him back.
Yeah, you suck.
Yeah, I do. I do. And please feel free to remove me from any of those duties.
I know.
But I think, but I mean, he did it for years, and we finally got one at Bridgeport, and then we got one at New Egypt. That's two. And Brian's been doing this, I mean, on and off for probably, I guess it was 96 till now. And I mean, there was years off in the middle, but
So you're saying that to say it's very difficult.
difficult.
And to see that he came in and went around the top-notch guys. Now, you started off in pole position for that one?
Outside pole.
outside.
Okay, outside pole. Okay.
But let me tell you, and you're going to have people, and I'm sure he's heard it. I'm sure somebody's already said something. Oh, we started on a pole. Of course you won.
No.
That's bullshit.
Right.
If you don't believe it,
Well, he just told us he came from 15 to 1 before. So
yep. Listen,
it's definitely talent there.
our good old friend JJ, I hate to keep going back to him. At the risk of sounding very bad, there's been many nights he's been on a pole.
Hey, can I say one thing?
Yeah.
908-751-0211.
Yes, that's true. If there's what the hell happened here? Something popped up on the computer.
Somebody wants to call in and talk to the kid or talk to Mike or talk to Tad. Oh, Tad's not here.
Well, Tad can answer it. He'll be on the screener.
That's right.
But John, people start on the pole all the time and they don't win.
Gotcha.
And when you've got the level of cautions, because I see what Ryan doesn't know is that even though I don't go to this, like, as a spectator, there's something we have called Race Monitor that allows us, like on an iPad or an Android, to actually watch the race unfold.
Okay.
So I'm watching the laps tick down, and I'm watching a caution, and I'm looking at who's behind him. I'm like, oh boy, another couple laps tick down, caution, oh boy. And he managed to hang in there the whole time and not get rattled and not get bothered by it.
Right. He showed me the app just now.
Yep. I mean, it'll give you great stuff. Not only that, it gives you incrementals.
Right.
It shows you how much of a lead. Like I even knew how much of a lead you had and where. I mean, I was watching the whole thing, and I mean, we'll watch.
He's like a little stalker, I think.
Who?
You.
No, I watch everybody.
Okay.
Well, more than anything, this is so bad. I want to see John win, but I want to see him step on his pecker so bad. It's a 50-50.
But he accommodates you in that regard all the
One of
time.
them,
Yeah.
Right.
Because you get to see if you're intelligent enough to look at the monitor, you know what the race is looking like. So I saw the cautions, and I saw it posted on your Facebook page, and it's well written. Nobody gave that to you. That was hard earned.
Has Stengel ever won one?
Yes, he did
Once.
finally win one.
Last year, right?
Yep.
I think I was there for that.
That must have been some night.
Well, we had him here first.
Yep.
We had him here.
Yep.
No telling what this guy will be doing at 25 years old.
Well, I guess right now your plan is to focus on the modified for this year, right?
We in the beginning of the year we were planning on focusing on our late model down south,
Mm-hmm.
racing past and trying to win the championship.
Mm-hmm.
But this car is so much more fun.
Oh, so you're actually enjoying this more.
Yeah, it's so much more fun. We get to listen to JJ stories all night.
Yeah.
And
But I mean, listen, I and it's so bad because I tool on the guy so often, but I'm sure Ryan will say the same thing. He's a great guy.
Right.
He's hilarious. I
Cool.
mean, the circus that goes on in his pits, like his kid. All right, and look, I'm gonna because I know he was right there when it happened. John's kid comes in, car bent up, all wrecked, all messed up. Mike, look at this car again. Another shock, another pair of radius rods. Matt, you wrecked this. I'm gonna beat you with this radius rod. I mean, he's out of his mind. But that's
How old is this kid?
I don't know.
I think Matt's like a couple months younger than me.
Yeah, he's right around there. I mean, and now you've got Matt. Yeah, go after yourself, Dad. I mean, just
That's great.
but so yeah, John is a character at the track, and it's good that all of us are together. I mean, and look, we to see somebody like you win, and John be doing it for years, and there's a lot of guys that do it for years and never get a win. So within 50% of your races, you won so far. That's pretty damn good.
And are you and Brian actually going to come to the track this week, or are you just going to leave your parking spot vacant again?
I don't know if we're gonna get done. We've got stuff we've got to do. We want to change the trans in it.
And they only have a week.
Yeah.
I mean, it is pretty nice. We have a lot of space in between our trailers now, so we have a lot of room.
Well,
to relax
kid,
and stuff.
take it easy on Brian. That's my buddy.
Yeah, Brian will lump you up. No doubt about it.
No, you won't.
Now, last thing, as far as I want to talk about with you, to show these guys and everybody listening how involved this is and how demanding it can be. What's your this week's schedule like?
On Wednesday, we're supposed to race the Speedster at Kutztown against all the guys that I was telling you about before. and
Oh
then-
boy. Hold on. Look at the screen.
Oh, no.
Oh no. Guess who this would be?
JJ?
Yep. Want me to bring him in?
Yeah.
Pull his audio up.
Oh, my God.
Is this my friend of 30 plus years?
What's going on, buddy?
What's going on?
I was listening, and for anyone else who's out there listening, what Ryan pulled off was really unbelievable. I mean, he didn't miss a beat. The car was fast. Probably after about lap 12, I was sitting with his dad and SpongeBob, and I said, Mike, he's got it. Because every restart he was pulling away. I was tapping SpongeBob's knee the whole time.
SpongeBob.
He's got it, man. He's gone, So he did a great job. Listen, I've started on the pole probably 20 times. And out of those 20, I didn't win one,
Yeah, I think a lot of those.
Says that it was a gift, and that's bullshit.
Yep.
What he did is a very respectful and very hard thing to do.
Absolutely.
This is showing how good of a guy JJ is.
Absolutely.
It's
right
the
now.
truth, man. It's the truth. I mean, it's Ryan. It's tough. Listen to me. It's tough. I could do anything. Ask Mike. I could walk into the woods and come out with a gallon of gas.
That's there's.
I've actually never heard that before.
How could I even start to tell that story? John?
I heard this story from Cody.
All right, first off, SpongeBob is Lunchbox, or as we know him as Cody.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you call him SpongeBob, JJ?
Because when it's hot out and he has the shorts on, they go down past his knees on a perfect square, and he looks like SpongeBob SquarePants.
Okay, so this is Ryan's interview, so we'll let this one JJ story come in. We were here, and it was me, John, and Cody, and Cody's dog. I don't know how this happened, but we ended up taking Cody's dog. So it was John and I. What were you in, John? The Sable?
We were in a 1995 Mercury Sable with factory chrome wheels.
Yep.
That was an important fact, by the way.
Yeah.
Factory chrome wheels.
John has
comfortable car. Go ahead.
he has referenced that Sable many times lately because he's like, I was so broke. I was driving that Sable. So listen, so we're driving down and he's like, we need fuel. And now we got the dog with us. We're driving down the road. We go past the gas station. John's like, I can make it to this next one. We get, I don't know, maybe another mile. Oh, he goes, he starts swerving back and forth. The dog's bouncing from side to side in the car. Oh, no. Ran out of gas. He pulls over to the side of the road in front of.
Hold on. Now it's 100 degrees out, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And now Mike starts with his mouth.
Yeah, I'm pissed.
Mike?
I believe you. You're such a dummy. How could you be so stupid?
And the funny thing is, we coasted. And now the good thing is that somehow or another, him running out of gas, my fault. Looks at me.
Huh.
Looks at me like it's my fault.
It's understandable.
We're driving down the road coasting. The car is off. He's sitting there staring at me like I did this. We pull over to the side of the road. John's looking at me. The dog looks at John. Then the dog looks at me. And then we both look back at John. And he's like, I can't believe this is your fault. He gets out of the car. He goes walking off into the woods. We're stopped in front of a park ranger station in front of Smokey the Bear.
Mike looks at me and he says, where you going, you idiot, you dummy? And I said, I'm going to find some gas. I'll be right back.
Turns around, looks at me. I'm going to find gas. You dick. He goes walking off, and he's walking into the woods. I swear to God, into the woods.
Right.
I can't believe this. A couple minutes later, he comes walking out with a little old school jerry can with gas. Swear to God. Walked into the woods. There was, what was back there? A park ranger station or something? And you robbed their gas can?
Yeah, it was there.
Unbelievable.
There was these little gas cans.
Well, I don't know if it was.
And
you
I
were supposed to
knew
tell that story.
it was a couple drops.
Oh, okay.
That's amazing.
So with that being said, I could walk into the woods and come out with gas. I've been in probably 100, probably close to 100 modified features and can't win one to save my life. I finally won one after spending probably $750,000. And Ryan hops up in there, gets up on the wheel, and drives like a bitch and wins.
Yeah, well, congratulations to the kid.
It's a good thing.
I know.
That's a good thing from John. All right, buddy.
He was on the gas, man.
We're going to have you in here telling generator stories and whorehouse stories and the whole thing.
Mike, I just wanted to call and chime in for anyone that's listening. He did a hell of a job.
Yep, I agree.
Hey,
All
good
right.
to hear
Thank
from you,
you.
John.
Thanks, JJ.
All right, guys. Be good, man.
See you, man. Bye-bye.
Bye.
What a piece of work that guy is.
Stangle.
You really can't make, I mean, Ryan, you know, you can't make shit up. You can't make the shit up.
No.
You could never, there's so many stories.
Mm.
And it continues at the racetrack, but it makes it more fun. So now we're going to close up the show. What's your schedule like? Where can people find out information about you? Where do you race now? Blah, blah, blah.
Well, for this week, we're racing at Kutztown Wednesday. On Thursday, we're flying down to Charlotte to race at Concord Motor Speedway in the late model. Then we're flying back on Saturday morning, getting to Philly around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, going straight from Philly to New Egypt.
Nice.
Start practice at 5 o'clock.
You've raced at Concord before?
The small track in the midget.
Not the
big track.
the big track is a small track too, but it's have you been there?
Yeah.
I think it's like Charlotte, only smaller.
No, it's about like 8 turns. It's not 8 turns. I'm exaggerating.
Yeah, I know, by like 4.
It's like weird. It's like a.
It looks like a mini cup track. I've been there. It's pretty cool.
I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you're an inspiration to us, bro. We wanna
Yeah,
let you know we're proud of you.
thanks.
So keep the grades up.
Crunch wants to grow up and be just like you.
Yeah, I'm 40. I'll be 44 in a couple of weeks. So
Really?
you're 16 and you just did all of that. I feel like a fucking.
Like it's just
I
a
feel like
failure.
what? Yeah, what am I doing with my life?
Yep. But I mean, Crunch, I hope, I mean, all these guys at some point want to come, to New Egypt to check it out.
Oh yeah, we're gonna check them out.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean,
check them out.
have you ever been to a dirt race, Crunch? or
I've
no?
never even thought of dirt
Thought of
racing
it,
until
yeah.
you started introducing it to me.
Yep.
So
No,
That's the honest
it's
truth.
definitely a different thing.
Yeah, well, you guys can like us on Facebook at Ryan Krachun Racing. Follow us on Instagram at Ryan Krachun, I think, or Ryan Krachun Racing, one of them. On Twitter at Ryan Krachun, and I'd just like to thank all my sponsors, Freno and Son, and Flemington Car and Truck Country, RacersGuide.com. Check that place out.
Doom player.
Online race directory of all the races around the country.
And your dad.
And my dad. I gotta thank my dad and Cody, my crew chief. And
SpongeBob.
I saw in the back of your car, your crew chief as well. More ours because he likes us better. And and I gotta thank
A little
Rick.
more successful too.
And I gotta thank Rick Lawback for building us an awesome race car.
All right. Well, thanks, man. I mean, the best thing is you present yourself well. You know, I mean, I got kind of high hopes for you. I hope it continues to go. And I mean, this kind of win to step into something like this and do it has to get other people to take notice. So it's, you know, no matter how you look at that, it's got to be good.
Very inspirational.
You would think.
Yep. All right, man. Well, Ryan, thanks for coming in.
And thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome, buddy. Anytime you want to come back, and we'll bring you in here one time with John. We can both tool on.
Oh my God, that'll be awesome.
Okay.
All right. Anything, Tom?
Nope. Good night, everybody.
Anything, Crunch?
Good night.
All right. See you guys next time. Thanks.